SIS 2.0 gives you the ability to check price and availability on parts at your local Milton Cat branch right in the parts consist. It also gives you the ability to build a parts list that you can then transfer over to parts.cat.com and ultimately order those parts. Now you can do either of those functions either by going directly into SIS 2.0 and start your parts lookup, or you can do what I recommend is starting off in parts.cat.com. Now when you do first log into PCC, you'll see this pop-up appear. Every username and every account is going to have a defaulted Milton Cat branch as their set store location, and you can change that branch. So if you are a customer that picks up in multiple Milton Cat branches, this is a nice reminder to pick the correct store that you're going to order those parts from. So if your job site is closer to another Milton Cat branch than your defaulted branch, this is a nice way to change that right there. You can also change your parts order as a standard order or a stock order depending on when you need those parts. So once you've selected your store, you'll hit continue. And then you can navigate to SIS 2.0 by clicking the SIS link at the very top of the page. You'll see something that says SIS. Now when you click on that, that will bring you to the home screen of SIS 2.0. Your equipment list will also be saved on parts.cat.com. So if you have a piece of equipment pre-selected, like you do over here, and then you go into SIS 2.0, it'll load up that serial number at the start screen of SIS. So you can change that once you get into SIS 2.0, but just know if you do have a piece of equipment selected in PCC at the start of your session, when you click SIS, it will have that serial loaded up. So if you do start directly into SIS, you will also have your equipment list in SIS 2.0, so you can select your saved equipment list so you don't have to memorize serial numbers. Or as always, you can just type in the serial number of whatever engine or machine you're working on. All right, so in this case, let me go to a parts consist to show you how to check price and availability. So I will go to the Waterlines group for this C7 on-highway truck engine. So this is my parts consist as we normally see it. Here's my graphic, here's my consist over here to the right. And you'll see a box up top here that says price and availability. Now before you click that, what I want you to do is click that drop down and do select customer information. So you can see here my store is set to Batavia, New York. That is my default. But this is a good way to confirm that you're looking at the correct store. So if you did go directly into SIS 2.0 without going to parts.cat.com first, you're going to want to double check that you have the correct store selected. So in this case, I do want to pick up in Batavia, so I'm going to set my store as Batavia and go ahead and hit OK. Now what that's going to do, you can see the load wheel come up, and because it's thinking, it's going to load up my price and availability. So it's going to look at my customer number to offer me the price, so my customer's price. And then it's also going to tell me I've selected Batavia, New York in this case. So it's going to tell me if these parts at these quantities are in that store. So once everything's all loaded up, you'll be able to check price and availability. Now I do recommend hitting that drop down at the start to do select customer information, just to have that pop-up appear to ensure that you have the correct Milton Cat branch selected for where you want to order those parts from. If you just click price and availability, it'll load up those prices and it's really not showing you what store you're looking at. So how SIS 2.0 is going to break this down, as you can see my price is right down here, right below my required quantity. So you can see in this case, this cable strap's 21 cents. This hose is $5.01. This water temperature regulator, everybody else calls it a thermostat, it's $18.83 right in here. So when you're looking at your consist, your quantities, the first column is your required quantity. Basically, that is your consist quantity. Over to the right here, you'll see in store, and you'll see one of 4 responses. It'll be yes, no, partial, and NA. So yes means that your selected Milton Cat branch has that quantity in stock. So it's looking at that local Milton Cat branch that you selected, and it's also looking at your desired quantity, which is in this box over here. And you can see it is editable. So if I needed more, in this case, if I needed more than one of these 3S2093 cable straps, I can either, when I hover over this box of my desired quantity, I can hit the up or down arrow to change my quantity. But you can see as soon as I did that, my in-store went away. So let's say I change this to 4 of these cable straps. I'd have to click price and availability again to get that back. So you can see now that I've adjusted my quantity, hit price and availability again, I still have 4 of those in stock in my local branch. Now let's take a look at something that says no for availability in that store. So you can see it's blue, and when I hover over it, my hand cursor comes up, so when I click on it, it's telling me that that housing is in Morton, which is a CAT distribution warehouse. I'd have to order that part in from a CAT distribution warehouse. In this case, it's coming from Morton, so it could take 2 to 3 days on an emergency order. Now let's take another look at another part, this band clamp here, this 2375176. When I click the no, it's not available because the part number replaces. So it's recommended that you contact your dealer for the local, for the updated parts. The other thing you might see, besides yes or no, is partial. So if I have, let's take a look at this hose. Let me adjust this up to 8. Click price and availability. So you can see I adjusted that to quantity 8, and I still have enough to cover that quantity if I needed 8 of those. So it still says yes, I can cover it. Let me take a look at another part here. So you can see in this case, once I've adjusted my quantity, my response is partial, meaning I have some at my selected Milton Cat branch, but not enough to cover my desired quantity of 8. So you can see now that's in blue when I click on it. I have 2 in stock in Batavia of that pipe, and if I needed 8, I'd have to get the other 6 from our Milford branch. So that's how you're going to use your price and availability. Those are your 4 responses. Yes, no, partial, and NA. If you see something with NA, there was some type of error. So you might just have to call the Milton Cat branch to get a better idea on availability on that part. You shouldn't see it too often, but that's what the NA means. It's just that there was some type of read error, so you just have to call us. Now to build your parts list, once you've looked at price and availability, to build your parts list, all you'd have to do is click your shopping cart to the right of that, to the very right of that line. So in this case, let's say I wanted that thermostat. I needed 2 of these thermostats, the 1154223, and I have 2 in my desired quantity. So when I click the shopping cart, however many quantity I had loaded in this box, it's going to add that many to my shopping cart. And you'll see this red box here with the number 2. It says that I've added 2 of those to my shopping cart. And when I look at the very top of my screen, well, there's my shopping cart. It says I have 2 items in my shopping cart, which I do. So let's go ahead and add the gasket as well, number 10. Click that. So it's just one of them. It added 1 of those. So now I have 3 parts in my shopping cart. So let's take a look at looking for price and availability on reman option parts. So let me go back to my shipped here, my configuration page. And let's look at the water pump. So I'll scroll down to pump group water. Pump group water. So if I'm looking for price and availability on a reman option, so you can see here, here's my water pump and here's my consist. So by default, the part number that you'll see in the first in the consist is the CAT new part number or the as shipped part number. So in this case, it's a 3522109. Now normally at Milton Cat, if there's a reman option available, that's what we're going to keep in stock. So where I find that information is underneath the new part, you'll see the alternate box. So what the alternate will show you when you click on it, it'll show you other than brand new part number, other than CAT as shipped or CAT genuine part numbers. So you have CAT reman as an alternate option, or this is where you would find the lower priced cost option that CAT used to call classic or yellow mark, or even in the case of undercarriage, you might see like general duty options. So it is an alternate part number to the as shipped new part. So in this case, it's reman. If I want price and availability on that, I can get it. But you see over here, just to the right, it's quantity 0. So before you click on your price and availability, go ahead and change your quantity to 1, and then click price and availability. Otherwise, it won't give you any availability until you have a quantity of at least 1. So you can see as that's loaded up, I do not have the original part number in stock, but I do have the remanufactured part in stock. It says yes, I have at least 1, and it's going to give me the price of the part. You won't see the core charge until you've added it to your cart or you've added it to parts.cat.com. So let me go ahead and just add one of these to my cart. Now this is going to be the same way when you look for kits information for this engine or any other serial number you're looking up. It's going to default as quantity 0. You'll have to change your quantity, check price and availability, and go from there. So let's just take a quick look at what that might look like. So you can see here, I go to my kits information. Now where they found the kits information, in this case, any place where there's install kits, gasket kits related to the engine, it's going to be under the engine arrangement. Then you'll go to the alternate tab, click options. That's where your kits are going to be. So you can see these are all quantity 0. I wouldn't get price and availability until I actually added or changed my quantity to 1, added it to my cart, and then I could look at price and availability. So once you've built your parts list where you want it and you want to take a look at it, you can click right on your shopping cart at the very top of your screen. So you can see here it's got all the things that I've added to my cart. I have quantity 2 of that thermostat. I have quantity 1 of my gasket for the thermostat housing. And then I have 1 of the reman water pump. So I can edit this. I can either remove things from my cart, I can change quantities, or I can manually add parts to this parts list. If I click this add part down here, it'll give me another line where I can manually type in a part number. So there's a couple things you can do from here. You can check price and availability again from here by clicking price and availability. You can confirm the store you're looking at again by clicking the drop down, select customer information. Make sure you'll have the right store, and it'll confirm price and availability and give you a subtotal right in your cart. So you can see here, this is the total, $265.23 is my subtotal. What you don't see though, I want to caution you on that, on your reman, I don't see a core charge. So anytime there is a remanufactured product, there will be a core charge associated with that. It's not telling you here. It will tell you in parts.cat.com when you bring this parts list over. So there's a couple things you can do from here, from your cart. You can either save this list. So if you're not ready to order these parts, but you want to keep your shopping cart clear, if you do save my list, you'll see a tab up top that says my lists, and it'll save it under there so you can revisit it at another time. You can also print this out. You can print this page out. Or you can save this to a CSV file, also known as an Excel spreadsheet. So you can save this as a spreadsheet if you'd like to. Now, if you are ready to order these parts and you want to bring this over to parts.cat.com so you can ultimately put this order into Milton Cat, all you have to do is click this order parts, yellow button at the lower left of your screen, and it'll take your parts list and bring it over to parts.cat.com. So the first place, I just want to caution you on this as well, the first place it puts it is it does bring you to your shopping cart, but it brings you to the bottom of the shopping cart in the quick order screen. So right now I just have part numbers in there. Now I have to add it to my cart in parts.cat.com. So you can see here, once that's loaded up, gives me the same pricing that I saw in SYS 2.0. But in this case, on that reman, it's also giving me my core deposit. So you can see my subtotal is going to be a little different in PCC because I had a reman item in there, and it's giving me the core deposit in PCC, where it did not give me that in SYS 2.0. So as you saw in this video, looking at price and availability in SIS 2.0 is fairly simple. If you do have any issues or any questions regarding price or availability on parts, please don't hesitate to contact your local Milton Cat Parts Department.